Some days it's, I've gotta play, and other days it's, oh boy, I get to play. And Devil Crash is definitely the latter. It has a strong case for the title of Best Pinball Game released to this point, and despite the limitations of the 8-bit system, it still holds up very well to this day. Devil Crash is the sequel to Alien Crush, the first pinball game on the PC Engine, and the main competition for Devil Crash's title of Best Pinball Game. Devil Crash is extremely similar to Alien Crush, and I don't just mean because they're pinball games. They share a lot of table layout and design elements, but I think Devil Crash refines them, makes it much more streamlined. When starting the game, you have the option for a slow or fast ball. Picking slow doesn't mean that the game always moves at half speed though. There's still plenty of quick shots and rebounds to deal with. You also have the option for a password. Similar to Alien Crush, Devil Crash has an ending when you fill up the score counter, but that process can take over an hour, so now you can save your progress. In-game, hit start to pause, hit select to bring up the high scoreboard, and then press button 1 to see a password. This retains your score, the number of remaining balls, and will set you in the launcher. I guess technically you could use this to cheat your way up the scoreboard, but it's a lot of effort for very little reward here. The controls are simple enough. Push anything on the D-pad to trigger the left flipper, button 1 triggers the right flipper, and button 2 shakes the table a little bit. I mashed button 2 for a short while and couldn't get the game to tilt, so it's at least friendly there. If you're in the launcher, then you hold down button 1 to charge it up, and I'm not sure why they bother with this because there's no skill shot and only one way the ball can go. There are 3 layers to the main table in Devil Crash, just like in Alien Crush, and it's relatively easy to get between the first 2. The channels at the side, or a shot straight up the castle in the middle, will usually put you right up there. Getting to the third is a bit trickier. A very lucky shot on the second board going past the head and blobs can do it, but the easier and more reliable way is to smash the door on the left-hand side and then destroy all of the skeleton knights who stand in the way. It's also possible to get a warp from the bottom section to the top, but if that appears, it usually means you're doing pretty bad, so you don't want to see it. The main features of the top board section are these little wizard guys who march around the hexagram in a circle. If you smash the skulls along the top, then you can stop the roulette, and that will determine which hole will take you to a bonus area. The middle portion of the table is the most complicated. You have the big face there, and it acts as a bumper if you hit it from below, but if you drop into it from above, then you'll get bonus points. Going into the holes on either side, when they're not set up to take you to a bonus stage, will advance the face through stages. It starts out looking like a normal woman, and it will turn more evil as you go. If you progress far enough, then the mouth opens up, and it becomes a path to another bonus table. In the bottom area, the outlanes that lead to the flippers have a little monster in them, and destroying that monster will block the drains on the side. Shooting through the castle in the middle will cause a bumper to appear between the flippers, though it's still not difficult for the ball to slip past it. The bumpers above the outlanes can eventually be cracked, releasing a bunch of monsters, and so can the eggs on the left-hand side. Hitting the skull and dragon enough will cause them to open up and become bonus areas. Something to be aware of is that if you do go down the right-hand lane and wind up in the launcher, then some table progress will be reset, particularly the blockers on that lower table area. There's a whole bunch of different bonus tables, but they are all basically the same. You get dropped into a one-screen arena, and there's some monsters there that you have to hit with the ball until they explode. Sometimes there's 2 pits, sometimes there's blockers that will appear, but the principle's the same for all of them. Devil Crash might seem to be a relatively easy table, but the thing that will keep you hopping are all of the moving targets. Whether you're aiming at them for points, trying to get around them, or dealing with the ball rebounding off of them unexpectedly, they change the playfield dynamically. They're not totally chaotic, of course, they move in patterns, and you have a pretty good idea of where the ball will go when it hits them. The big thing is that they're adding a major complication to the board. If there's one big weakness in Devil Crash, it's the physics engine. Compile may be technical wizards, but there's only so much they can do on an 8-bit processor. The game is constantly recalculating ball collision, which can cause it to jiggle a little bit all on its own. Now this isn't great for simulation, but the table in Devil Crash is designed around those loose physics, so it doesn't impact the game a whole lot. It's just noticeably different from real-world pinball. And that's it. There's nothing more about playing Devil Crash. I mean, it's pinball. What are you expecting? You keep the ball in play, you rack up points, you have a good time. Devil Crash gets a few sequels, but this is the end of the line for the series on the PC Engine. That may be for the best, since the sequels aren't as strong as the first two games. In Japan, Devil Crash is recognized as a well-made game, but it seems like Alien Crush is the more popular of the two there. Or at least I found that when people were talking about them, they tended to lean more on Alien than Devil. Now, obviously, my own feeling is Devil Crash is a lot of fun. I bounce back and forth on which of the two is better, but at the moment, and it might be recency bias, I think Devil takes it. The refinements are putting it over the top for me. But you really can't go wrong playing either of these games. They're both excellent and distinctive takes on pinball.